you must understand there are two different kinds of images or two different kinds of consecrations. One is just a reverberation. You can even make this vessel reverberate, but you cannot access this vessel from elsewhere because it's simply reverberating without specificity of what it intends to do. It has no intention or intelligence. But consecrations which are as complex as the Devi or much more with the dhyana linga is, they are not limited by physical space. Wherever you are, if your doors are open, it's available. Many people, the first time it happened in United States, I think this was just the second program, inner engineering program we were doing. There was a lady who was involved in all kinds of, whatever, certain type of work from Caribbean islands. She went on doing something with her pencil in the book. You know, we have a problem with people taking down notes. I said, no, you cannot take notes, just be with me. She will be looking at me, not even looking at the book, just looking at me and just doing this with her pencil. Then at the end of the 3-hour session, she said, I don't know why this came, something came out of this and this is the thing that, the form that came out of me. I didn't know what happened. As I was looking at you, I was trying to sketch you, but this is what I got. It's a clear proportion of the dhyana linga. She just got the image of dhyana linga, like she completely… the whole page she scratched with her pencil. What was left unscratched was just the form of dhyana linga exactly, the same exact proportion. But she was trying to make a picture of me. So I'm telling you, consecrated forms are not limited to its physical space.
As dhyana linga is not a particular physical form, but it's an energy form which defies time and space. So if one is willing, it's available to you wherever you are. But still that may sound very abstract for many of you. So I would say it's best if you have made at least one visit, if you have beheld dhyana linga, if you have sat there, the sowing of the spiritual seed through the dhyana linga will anyway happen within you. And if you just fix a certain time for yourself, preferably in the morning or evening, and simply sit quietly, the energy of dhyana linga will definitely envelop you from within. And if you need some visual help, you can always have an image or a yantra which will give you the necessary support. But all these supports are only because one is psychologically distracted. Otherwise, none of these are needed. The sowing of the spiritual seed that happens by being in the presence will take care of this anyway. But if you need support, you can always have visual support or even the mantra, a CD being played or something like this which will give you the necessary auditory support. But essentially, if you just keep one space in your house and simply sit quietly, you should feel that space from within yourself. If you have been in that space, even if you have not been in that space, it is possible, but you must be in a certain level of receptivity which may not be possible for everyone.
We're at one of the foremost Western medical systems in the world. What are some of the things, either from the East or from the yogic sciences, that our young doctors can think about as they get trained at Stanford University in the West?
Especially in a medical school, I would want this to come, that it's not about studying somebody else of heart, liver, kidney. Yes, that's important, that's one aspect of it, but to know this internally, it's most important. This has to become a part of medical systems on the planet. Otherwise, we will have medicine growing, we will not have health flourishing on the planet. Today they tell me, I don't know, you must tell me the statistics. Somebody told me the food industry on the planet is $7.6 trillion. The pharmaceutical and healthcare industry on the planet is $7.2 trillion. They say by the end of 2017, the healthcare industry is going to become larger than the food industry. That means we are consuming more medicine than food. That doesn't speak well of us as healthy people, isn't it? We need to create a culture of health. Instead of investing in just healthcare, we must talk about how to generate health in a society, a culture of health. So right from our childhood, if we are taught how to be, how to keep the body, how to keep the mind, how to manage these things, then we know how to fix these things. And tools above all. Like today you have phenomenal tools for external medicine, similarly inner dimensions there are phenomenal tools, but there is no transmission of that in a big way. What we're talking about in engineering is just that. We would like to, particularly if you're becoming a doctor and if you're telling me you're going to be in some way making a difference in somebody's life, we will offer this to you wherever you want, okay? One most important thing the doctors should do is, they must be a joyful lot. If you walk into the room, it must be light and joy for the patient. They must forget their ailment. This is very important, that you exude a certain energy, which is life. This is partial death. You should not go around with grave faces. Grave is a bad thing. It will come anyway, but it's a bad thing right now. Anything grave is not good, you don't have to carry it on your face. It's very, very important. The doctors of the future must be a joyful lot, must exude life energy in a huge way. Of course, the knowledge part of it, your college, your university is teaching it, that is important. But what's your problem in being joyful? If you're joyful, will you lose your knowledge, I'm asking? No. Right now, people have become grave. When a grave doctor walks into a patient's room, it's a threat. Grave is one thing you should not show somebody who's not well right now, isn't it?
People who are in a certain state of sadhana, which is referred to as the Ritambara Prajna, may hear sounds beyond its spectrum. Pranamaya kosha is made up of 72,000 nadis. 108 active energy centers in the body are chakras in the body. This dimension of allowing the human system to evolve to its ultimate possibility by using these 108 sounds is called as Nada Yoga. Today it is common scientific knowledge that the whole existence is a reverberation of energy. Or in other words, the whole existence is oscillating between being physical existence and being a vibration. So the source of all that's physical in the existence today, as per modern science, is a reverberation or a vibration. This was recognized by the yogic sciences many millennia ago, and it was said the whole existence is sound, because where there is a vibration, there is bound to be a sound. Vibration is only a description, but in human experience, all vibrations, we experience them as sounds. Among the vibrations that happen in the existence, not all of it is right now available to the human ear. The spectrum of sounds that the reverberations of creation throws out is not fully available to the human ear. Only a small band of frequency is available. This we call as the sonic sounds. What is above or over that is called ultrasonic. What is below is subsonic. Both the subsonic and the ultrasonic sounds are not available to the human ear unless a human being strives, has the necessary sadhana to go beyond these limitations of a small band of frequencies.
people who are in a certain state of sadhana, which is referred to as the Ritambara Prajna, may hear sounds beyond its spectrum. Otherwise, most human beings are limited to this small band of frequencies. What we refer to as music is a more refined arrangement of these sounds that the creation is already making. The Indian classical music particularly comes from a very deep understanding of the human system, because all our experience of life is essentially happening within us. Light and darkness is happening within us, sound and silence is happening within us, joy and misery is happening within us, agony and ecstasy is happening within us. Every human experience happens only within ourselves, never outside of ourselves. Because we are the basis of our experience, everything that we do is based upon the nature of the self. Because of this, the music identified certain dimensions of the body which are responsive to the sounds that we generate or the sounds that come towards us. The human system being seen as 5 koshas or 5 sheets or layers of body, the Annamaya kosha, the Manomaya kosha, Pranamaya kosha, Vijnanamaya kosha and Anandamaya kosha. Among these 5, Pranamaya kosha is the most significant one. Pranamaya kosha is made up of 72,000 nadis, which meet and redistribute in 114 significant ways, or there are 114 junction boxes in the human system. Of these, 2 are outside the physical nature and 112 are within. Out of these 112, 4 are dormant to a large extent. So 108 active energy centers in the body are chakras in the body. Based on this, these 108 are divided on the right and the left in the form of Ida and Pingala. They're divided as 54 each. Based on this, we formed a Sanskrit alphabet of 54 sounds. These 54 sounds in 2 manifestations are feminine and masculine, we have 108. These 108 sounds, these 54 in 2 different shades or 2 different manifestations amounting to 108 has a significance, and the whole music system evolved out of these 108. So the Indian classical music essentially is about touching these 108 or activating these 108 chakras or points in the body, which will lead to a natural evolution of the human being to a higher level of consciousness. So music has never been just in a form of entertainment, it has been a way of evolving an individual human being into a universal entity. So this dimension of activating the human system, this dimension of allowing the human system to evolve to its ultimate possibility by using these 108 sounds is called as Nada Yoga. So the Indian classical music is an evolution of this fundamental process of Nada Yoga. If one listens to music with the necessary involvement, or one involves themselves in the process of what we are referring to as the classical music, it is not just about pleasantness of the body, it is not just about the pleasantness of emotion that one goes through. It is a way, it is a method to move out of compulsive cycles of life and transcend those cycles to achieve an ultimate process of freedom and liberation. The classical music is a very refined and wonderful way of delving into oneself. This is one of the most wonderful ways that one can transcend one's limitations
and arrive at an ultimate possibility. There are many ways to do this, but this is a wonderful and beautiful way to do it.
We appreciate you being part of this incredible journey. Keep exploring our channel for more inspiration and transformative insights.